Roman Reigns has all the titles and, seemingly, a dislocated shoulder. Stone Cold Steve Austin made his shock return after not wrestling at WrestleMania for a whole 24 hours. And celebrities might now be actual better sports entertainers than actual wrestlers. I'm Ollie Davis, and this is my review of WrestleMania 38, Part 2. In about 10 minutes. Remember to subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos, especially with our Raw After Mania coverage coming up too.
Support WrestleTalk!
Screw you, kickoff show! I don't care about you anymore. I've only got eyes for you, Transformers Age of Extinction star Mark Wahlberg. So stupendous. And a very emotional opening segment from Triple H. The WrestleMania card opened on Hunter making his return in front of a live crowd. In Triple H Mania terms, this was very low-key. There wasn't a motorbike or Terminator cosplay outfit in sight. But in a way, this was one of the most meaningful entrances he's ever done. After hugging his kids and Gable Steveson, who somehow still looked bored at ringside, Trips stood in the ring, said a heartwarming thank you and said, "We are NXT welcome to WrestleMania." He then left his boots in the ring as a symbolic gesture of retirement. The first match was the perfect high-paced opener, with RK-Bro retaining their Raw Tag Team Championships against Alpha Academy and the Street Profits. With the rules allowing for each of the three teams to have a man in the ring at the same time, as opposed to WWE's usual limit of 2, this had a ridiculously fast pace from the start that never let up. It was just 5 guys hitting insane move after insane move, and Randy Orton waiting to hit an RKO. The poetic finish came when Riddle saved Randy with an awesome top rope RKO on Montez Ford, after which Orton caught a leaping Chad Gable with his own to win. A terrific match, although maybe not as good as their Raw encounter. To separate the two, I would have put a stipulation on this. I just want a TLC match, okay? Give me what I want. The brilliance of Night 2, though, was that we didn't just get pro wrestling, boring, pro wrestling. Nearly every match had a delicious dose of sports entertainment afterwards. All the babyfaces shared a red cup beer in the ring, and they invited Gable Steveson to join them. But Chad slapped the drink out of his hand for Gable War. You are totally getting renamed when Steveson properly debuts Chad. I'm already confused. Steveson took off his top and launched Chad with a belly-to-belly. WWE have done a great job pushing Steveson over Mania weekend. It's now all on him to develop a character to make this a success. Bobby Lashley's entrance had about $250,000 worth of pyro next. Gee, I wonder who's winning here. After 5 minutes of Omos dominating Lashley, including 2 consecutive bear hug spots, Bobby hit a snap suplex, which was only mildly impressive, and a spear to win. This didn't even really work as a spectacle, and they should have used Omos's first loss to get over someone new like Steveson, Breaker, or Veer. Sports entertainment came back out in its full stupendous force next though. Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville had a wickedly fun 50-minute hardcore match that will surely go down in Mania history as one of its best comedy bouts ever. It also had an unexpectedly sweet underlying story too, as Johnny's jackass buddies cameoed to help him win, including Party Boy's sexy dancing and Wee Man somehow hitting a scoop slam on Zayn. That's not how physics works. Sami replied by booting Wee Man in the face. Big Cass would be proud. For the final moments, Knoxville got psychological and worked over a body part. The dick, Bill! The dick! He had laid a pyro trap for Sami when he was on the top rope, which he followed up with a bowling ball to the dick, a mechanical fake leg to the dick, a giant slap hand, and then tossing Zayn off the top rope through a table covered in mouse traps on the outside. The whole jackass crew then pushed a giant mouse trap in the ring, where they trapped Sami in it for the pin. Knoxville's Royal Rumble spot left a lot to be desired. This Mania bout ticked every box that my jackass WWE match expectations had. Next up came the fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal to get all the other women on the Mania card. I mean, it's the women's tag title 4-way. Not a single team came out together. Every one of them had their own separate music, which is the problem with this match. Everyone worked hard. Some of the spots, like a dual Tower of Doom, were really good, but ultimately, I do not care about what happens in this division due to bad storylines, weak champions, and a bunch of women just thrown together. I don't believe in a single one of their relationships, which is a kind of fundamental requirement for tag wrestling. It was infinitely better than last year's women's tag match though, which I believe is still going on. Sasha and Naomi are your new women's tag champions. In an admirable change of pace, AJ Styles and Edge then wrestled a psychology-heavy 25-minute match, the longest of the whole weekend. Whereas every other bout was high-octane move, these two had a really engaging back-and-forth chess match. And I believe a lot of that is down to Edge's new heel character, which now feels fully formed in its demented intensity. The finish saw AJ go up for the phenomenal forearm, but he got distracted by Damian Priest standing at ringside like he was watching a backstage WWE monitor over his shoulder. Somehow, Styles sold a guy just standing there more than his own face getting busted open in his entrance, which apparently happened when he bumped his head on the star-shaped stage. Damian's non-distraction gave Edge enough time to recover and counter AJ's forearm with a spear mid-air to win. Edge and Priest then formed an unholy alliance, which is presumably the start of Edge's reported new heel faction. This felt more like a new season angle you'd do on the Raw after Mania. No problem with that, just an observation. In a match that was explicitly put over on commentary as a tribute to Big E and his broken neck, Sheamus and Riddick Moss pretty much squashed the New Day in 1 minute 40 seconds. The shortest match of the whole weekend. Speedy recovery, Big E. The Undertaker did another walkout on stage for his Hall of Fame induction. I genuinely couldn't tell if this was happening live or it was just another replay from the previous night. And then we got, unequivocally, objectively, I hate to break it to you, Becky and Bianca, move aside Punk and MJF, the best half hour of wrestling of the year. Just in case you were in any doubt, because, if you don't remember, this storyline all started because of an egg. Vince McMahon sees Austin Theory, for now at least, as the company's next big star, introducing him here as future WWE Universal Champion Austin Theory. Well, allow me to do my own endorsement, because out next came future WWE Universal Champion Pat McAfee. McAfee got a huge entrance complete with Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders and the White Stripes 7 Nation Army as his music. Oh, Enzo Amore. Sorry, I mean, oh, bask in his glory. No, sorry, again, I mean, oh, Pat McAfee. As AEW have found, having actually licensed songs can create a party-like atmosphere in the crowd, because they're a little bit drunk and they can sing along to something. WWE should do this kind of thing more, as the audience were amongst the loudest they'd been all weekend, keeping the singing up throughout the match. And what a match it was. McAfee was incredible, not just from his moves, like a standing Hurricane Rana, a missed Swanton Bomb, and a spectacular backflip off the top rope, standing jump back onto it, and a superplex, but also his charisma, having that natural connection with the crowd. And then McAfee won with a roll-up. Give me Pat McAfee versus Logan Paul as the Mania 39 main event. That would have been enough, but we were far from done, because Pat then started trash-talking Vince McMahon, who was at ringside the entire time. Vince took off his tie, he took off his jacket, he took off his shirt to reveal the classic black vest and somehow shoulders bigger than all of us. And then the unthinkable happened. The bell rang for Vince McMahon versus Pat McAfee at WrestleMania, which was effectively a squash match for Vince McMahon, but still over double the length of the New Day match. Theory kept interfering, letting Vince finally get a win at WrestleMania. Vince and Austin Theory hugged. That would have been enough, but we were again far from done, because here comes the money. No, I'm kidding. Frickin' Stone Cold's music hit. Vince and Stone Cold were in the ring once again. They shared a beer, but then, of course, Steve hit McMahon with a stunner in one of the most comically bad stunners of all time. Vince kinda collapsed on the gut kick, stumbled back into the ropes, Austin yanked him by the head, and then Vince just crumbled like a suit of dusty bones. It was so bad, Austin couldn't stop laughing as he celebrated. Then Austin stunned Pat McAfee for good measure. This was pro wrestling perfection. I enjoyed this even more than the KO main event on night 1. By the time the entrances were done, there was only 15 minutes left of the show for the supposed biggest match in WrestleMania history. Brock versus Roman for all of the belts. It was certainly exciting, if a little repetitive, not just with the moves in the match, but also heavily lifting its template from Lesnar vs Goldberg at WrestleMania 33. Roman kicked out of an F5, Brock kicked out of a low blow and title shot to the head when the referee was down. Reigns' selling was awesome there, capturing that underlying insecurity that makes his character so interesting. Brock then caught Roman's spear in a Kimura lock for a great counter, but that's when this match somewhat fell apart. Reigns can be heard telling Heyman something is out, and it's speculated the thing that was out was his shoulder, looking dislocated going by the bump that suddenly appeared on his upper arm. They seemingly made the call to go home early. Reigns hit a spear and won. A very good match that could have been a great one, as it felt like we were only just entering the final third. In an unfortunate stat, it also means that WrestleMania 38 was bookended by matches cut short due to injury involving the bloodline. What did you think of WrestleMania 38 Part 2? Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna say the thing, everybody. Night 1 was great, but Night 2 was actually stupendous. Over the last decade, I've thought of myself as a pro wrestling fan. I gravitate towards Ring of Honor and New Japan and All Elite Wrestling. Sports entertainment, I've grown out of it. Maybe it's not for me anymore. I am grateful for WrestleMania 38 proving me wrong. When done right, sports entertainment is its own form of joy, and WWE does it better than anyone. WrestleMania 38, Night 2, one of the best WrestleManias of all time, is 90%. Now go watch our live reactions to the show, which includes the reaction to Vince taking that stunner.
Get up, Vince! Vince! Vince!